One of the most important things in a Google Ads is the conversion tracking. The conversion tracking lets you know how many phone calls, the form submissions, or purchases you got from the Google Ads. In today's video, we're gonna go over the full in-depth conversion tracking for Google Ads. We're gonna go over the topics like the form submission tracking, the phone calls tracking, calls from the ads tracking. So let's start with the form submission tracking. So what I mean by the form submissions, when somebody submits on the form on your website, we want to track this form submission. So in order to do that, we have to go over to Google Ads. And here we want to go to the goals, conversions, and summary. Let's create the new action. Click on the website. Just put the URL of your website here. After scanning your website, you can add the conversion action here manually. So let's add it here. So the goals and actions are gonna be the lead forms, submit lead forms. And let's name our campaign with the form submission. And so in here, in the value, it's very important to include the value if you have multiple services for the lead forms. So for example, if you have 2 or 3 or multiple form submissions which are relevant to only that service which you provide. And if you want to track properly, you want to add the value for each form submission or each service which you have. But if you have just one service, you can use the same value for each conversion. And when it comes to the purchases, this is different here. So in the purchases, you want to include dynamic value attribution. For the lead form submissions, just one is enough here. So when it comes to the count, every is going to be good for the e-commerce or purchases. So when somebody purchases twice or even multiple times, every is going to track every conversion which user did. And one is good for the leads, signups, because one is going to track only once. When user submits forms twice, it's gonna count user as one, because the same information gonna be submitted twice. Click-through conversion window here is very important, because you can set it 2 weeks, or you can set it even 90 days or even more. But it basically, when somebody clicks on your ad and clicks off, and maybe several days are passed, and comes back to your website and submits, if you have a good enough conversion window here, like 30 days, it's gonna track him as user came from the Google Ads. But if you have a short conversion window, some returning users can be mistracked. So I suggest you to put 30 days for the conversion window. Engage view window is for the video ads. If you're running YouTube ads, and it's the same situation, if they enter in your website for the first time, they're gonna be tracked for 3 days, and if they're gonna come back at the day 4, Google Ads will not assign conversion to your video campaign. So when it comes to the attribution here, the data-driven is when you're running several campaigns in Google Ads, and you want to track which campaign led to the form submission or the phone call or the purchase, you want to use data-driven. And if you're running the remarketing campaign in Google Ads, so one of them is a search campaign, the second one is remarketing, maybe video remarketing, maybe the display remarketing campaign, and you want to track if remarketing campaign bringing you any conversions. So the last click will track the campaign which made the conversion. So if search campaign made the traffic, and this traffic came back through the other campaign, the second campaign which was remarketed will get the credit instead of the cold campaign which you run first. So just choose data driven for just starting out if you're just running only one campaign, and click on done here. So here, click Save and Continue. After the saving here, you're gonna have three options to install Google Tag. The most convenient way to install Google Tag Manager inside of your website is to use Google Tag Manager. So before using this Google Tag Manager, let's create your Google Tag Manager account if you don't have it. If you have it, you can just skip this part. So you want to go to the Google Tag Manager here, and just want to go here and create the account. After creating the account here, you're gonna have this dashboard. So let's start from here. So you want to create account here. Let's name our account. So it's gonna be my company name. And the container name is basically, if you have a separate websites or several apps, you can include them by container. So one website gonna have one container, the second one can be the app, so it's gonna be in a separate container. To differentiate them, just we have to name them. So in our case, it's gonna be test web. So you want to choose the web as the option here and press on create. So here you have to accept all agreements here. And so after creating the account, it's going to give you the code. With this code, you can track every tags inside of your website. So what I mean by that, so let's install this code inside of your website, and all tags going to be managed from this Google Tag Manager inside of your website. So let's install Google Tag Manager inside of your account. Press on this button to copy, and remember to put head inside of the head option here. So if you're running the Webflow here, you're gonna have the option to include custom code inside of here. If you're running Webflow website, you're gonna have option inside of the settings as a custom code here. So inside of the head here, head tag here, you want to include this code. So just copy here and paste it here. On the body, you're gonna have the same body tag. So just copy here and just paste it here. I already have, as you can see, the tag manager. And after the creating this tag manager, just make sure to enter your website here. After the testing, just press OK. I already have Google Tag Manager installed in other account, so I will go over to that Google Tag Manager. Currently, I'm in the Google Tag Manager, which is running right now, and let's install Google Tag inside of Google Tag Manager. So press on the new tag here. Let's name our campaign. So the form submission Google Ads. So let's configure here. Just press on this icon here and press on Google Ads. Here you want to choose Google Ads conversion tracking. So it's gonna ask you conversion ID, conversion label, and conversion value here. So you have to go to the Google Tag. You have to go to the Google Ads here again and just copy the conversion ID here and the conversion label here. So after copying these two conversion labels and conversion ID, you want to choose the trigger. So the trigger going to be the form submission, or if you don't have any triggers here, so press on the plus button. Let's name our trigger. So the trigger going to be what the thing which triggers your Google tag. So in our case, it's going to be form submission. So form submission trigger. So here, press on this icon, and if you want to track the form submissions, you want to choose user engagement and go to the form submissions here. If you have just one form submission, you can leave on all forms here and click on save. But if you have several form submissions and you want to track specific form submissions, you want to choose the some forms here and include the page path. And the page path basically contains this. In our case, we're going to target the home page. So this page, it's going to target the home page form submission here. Click on save here. So after setting up this, click on save. So the Google tag is installed. So let's check if it's working properly. So in order to check, just press on preview button here. And here, just put your URL here and press on connect. So it's gonna redirect to your website here and go to your form here and just fill out the form and press on submit. So what you're gonna see, you have to see that the tag which we installed, the name was the form submission Google Ads, have to go from tax is not fired to tax is fired. So it have to go to up here. So let's fill out the form here with the test email, phone number. After submission here, let's check our conversion if it's tracked. So as you can see, the form submission Google Ads is fired in our case. So it means that Google Ads set it up properly. So let's go over to Google Tag Manager here and press on submit. It basically gonna submit the changes. So basically the installation of Google Tag inside of your website. Press on publish here and it's gonna publish your website, and press on skip. So now we installed Google Tag for the form submissions. So let's set it up Google Ads for the phone calls. There are two types of the call submissions, and one of them is the calls from your ads. So when you're running Google Ads, they instantly click on the number on inside of your ad and call from there. And the second option is the calls from your website. So when somebody clicks on your ad, goes to your website and calls from the website. Let's start with calls from the ads. Press on new action here. Press on the phone calls. Here you're gonna have three options. Let's choose calls from the ads using call extensions or call only ads. Choose this and press continue. So here we're gonna have the similar interface as we did before, and you just want to name the phone calls from ads. Here we're gonna use the same value for each conversion because every phone call is gonna be the same value, and the count is gonna be 1 because the same person can call twice, and it's much better to track it only once instead of every time one person calls. So the call lengths, this is very important. You have to identify how much each lead are speaking with you on the phone. In some industries it can be 20 seconds, but in some industries it can be even 2 minutes. For default and average, it can be the 1 minute. 1 minute gonna be enough to identify if it's a good lead or not good lead. It's the same with the click-through conversion window, 30 days. So it basically gonna track a user which entered to your Google Ads for 30 days, and if they're gonna come back and call you again, it's gonna track as that campaign. And the same with that attribution model. We're gonna choose data driven. Let's press create and continue here. So we basically created the tracking, and now let's set it up inside of your ad. So in order to do that, you have to go to your campaigns, you have to go to your ads here. So here you have to edit your ad. So let's edit our ad. Here you're gonna have the option to add the calls here. So when you are targeting the phone calls, and when the phone number is appearing here, so we're gonna track anyone who clicks on this phone number and calls us. So in order to do that, press on edit here, and press on the edit of your phone number. Here you're gonna have conversion action. So just change this conversion action to which we are created now. So it's gonna be phone call from ad. And click on save. And click on apply here. And don't forget to save this ad. So basically it's gonna track the phone calls which are 60 seconds long from your Google Ads. So the next step gonna be tracking the phone calls from your website. So anyone who went to the Google, click on your ad and went to your website and call from your website, it's gonna be tracked. So in order to do that, let's go over the goals again and conversions. Let's create a new action here. Here you want to choose the phone calls and calls to phone number on your website. So choose this option and press on continue. Let's name our tag. So it's going to be phone calls from web. The value going to be the same and we're going to count as 1. Here is very important. The destination number have to be exactly in this format. So let's put my number here. And don't forget to edit to make it exact format. So after setting up this one, the display number gonna be the number which is exactly written in your website. So in our case, it's written like this. It's written with the dashes. So we're gonna just copy that, the exact same. It have to be exact same to be working properly. So just click on copy here and just paste it here. Just remember, it's just have to be the same pattern as in your website. Call length is going to be 60 seconds and attribution going to be data driven, and just press on create and continue. Here we're going to install with our Google Tag Manager, and it's basically going to give us conversion ID and conversion label. So let's go over Google Tag Manager here and press on new tag here. Let's name our tag. In the tag configuration, you want to choose Google Ads and Google Ads calls from the website conversions. So here, it's going to ask you display phone number. And remember, it have to be exactly same as in your website. So let's copy this phone number, the exact format, just paste it here. The conversion ID we're going to take from the instructions on Google Ads and press on here. The conversion label have to be exactly same, so press on this. So after filling up this form here, let's choose our trigger. So the trigger gonna be all pages because we want to target all pages. And basically what it's gonna do, Google Ads gonna replace this number with the forwarding number. So it's gonna be different number, and when somebody gonna call to that number, it's gonna forward to your number. So we want to change this phone number on all of our pages and click on save here. So after saving, let's preview our changes. So remember, it have to be fired in order to be working. So write down your URL here, press on connect. So after pressing connect here, just scroll down and just go to Tag Assistant again, and it should be fired here. So as you can see here, our tag is fired. Google Ads phone calls from the website is fired. So it means it's working properly. So let's close the testing here and let's click on submit. So you want to submit here and publish here and skip here. Thank you so much for watching. If video was helpful to you, just subscribe or leave a comment below. If you have any questions, you can just comment us below or contact us through our website. If you need any help with Google Ads management, just contact us and book a call with us.